Good day everyone, I am Marjorie C. Ayaw. My topic for today is building and managing learning communities and groups, and analysis and measure social learning. But first, let's talk about building and managing learning communities and groups. So before building a group, how a group develops should be understood. Effective group development follows a structured process. Tocman 1965 and Jinsin 1977 summarized that process regarding 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So, let's talk about the 5 stages of group development. So first, forming. So people with same goals come together and they need to know the similarities and differences of the team members. The critical thing at this stage is to let member becoming familiar with each other and their task, discussing the scope of the effort, formulating the methods to deal with the task, and establishing the rules of engagement are relevant at this stage. So, team acquaints and establishes ground rules, formalities are preserved, and members are treated as strangers. Next, storming. When the group attempts to accomplish a task, conflicts about responsibility, division, or rules may surface. The important things at this stage are listening to others, clarifying ideas, finding solutions, and testing ideas. So members start to communicate their feelings but still view themselves as individuals rather than part of the team. They resist control by group leaders and show hostility. Next is norming. So when the group overcomes a conflict, the members become more actively engaged and more involved in sharing information, maintaining community, and solving new issues. The important thing at this stage is group awareness, that the group is effective. Indicators of group effectiveness at this stage are the clarification of interaction processes and taking action to address problems. People feel part of the learn and realize that they can achieve work if they accept other viewpoints. The fourth one is performing. When the group reaches this stage, members are genuinely interdependent and the group has developed a real unity. Group members are highly oriented to tasks. They collaborate smoothly and play different roles according to the group needs. The important thing at this stage is solving problems in the best way to promote group development. Not all groups can reach this stage. The team works in an open and trusting atmosphere where flexibility is the key and hierarchy is of little importance. Then, adjourning. A group is not always active or developing. A group can be terminated when the task is over or when the group disbands for any reason. The important thing at this stage is concluding the achievement, recognizing members' contributions, and giving members the chance to say goodbyes to each other. The team conducts an assessment of the year and implements a plan for transitioning rules and recognizing members' contribution. So that's the 5 stages of group development. But remember that group development is not always linear. The group process can loop back to storming when there are unsolved conflicts, or when new members join or difficulties in understanding tasks arise. Establishing rules of engagement in early stages of a group development will help when the group encounters problem in later stages. So now, we're gonna talk about building and managing small groups. In a classroom environment, grouping has multiple possibilities. The person who will decide the grouping, either students, teachers, or randomly assigned, depends on the task, setting, and group characteristics. Before considering the grouping, the group size should be determined. The ideal size of the group depends on the purpose and content of classroom teaching. But it is generally considered that 4 to 5 people are optimal. Several issues should be considered in determining the number of groups. So first to be considered is how long does it take for a group to learn? Next, how much experience have the students had? Next, how old are the students? Next, what materials are available for students to use? And then the last one is, how comprehensive are these materials? Then, after the group size is determined, different methods can be applied. By Dreyer and Harder 2009 proposed 4 methods to build groups in classroom settings. So first, randomly, and then according to the scores, then according to interest, then the last one is according to feelings. When students are grouped, there is often a situation where someone is not included. So the teacher needs to persuade the group to accept those students not already included in the group. Therefore, the task of grouping is often done by the teacher. Whichever grouping method used, students should be given a chance to change to another group. If students have the opportunity to participate in the selection of partners, their acceptance of learning with their partners will also increase. Thus, the freedom to change partners will play a positive role in promoting student participation. After the team has been identified, the role of each team member is accomplishing the task needs to be clarified. Through this clear division of labor, the team can work together to enhance their confidence. In addition, the role of team members can vary depending on the task. So we're done sa small groups. Now, let's talk about building and managing communities. Learning communities provide necessary support for social learning. Learners interact with others in learning community and group to form social relationships. However, the establishment and management of a learning community need time and effort and follow the group development law. Essential element for establishing prosperous learning communities are informality, familiarity, honesty, openness, heart, passion, dialogue, rapport, empathy, trust, authenticity, disclosure, humor, and diverse opinions by Chapman, Ramond, and Smiley 2005. According to the 5 stages to build a projected course by Walton and Moore et al. 2006, we propose the 4 stages of building and managing learning community. First, introductions. This step is getting to know you face. Some methods, such as self-introduction and ice-breaking task, can be used to create an initial and emotional connection with others in the community. Second is involved within the group. This step is a deeper understanding of, of group as a part of group. Some methods such as making group rules and clarifying task division, can be used to make a deeper connection between individuals and the group. The third one is form primary interact. This step is a normalization phase. The individuals in the group begin sharing information with each other. For example, discussing the course contents. Some methods, such as providing feedback on interactions, can be used to promote interaction between the groups. The last one is promote real collaboration. This step is a real collaboration phase. The individuals begin to confirm their ideas and actively reflect themselves. Some methods, such as writing reflection, can be used to enhance group members' collaboration. So that's all about building and managing learning communities and groups. And now, let's proceed to the analysis and measure social learning. The ability to measure and to appreciate the complexity of the processes of social learning has benefited from the advances in methodologies and development of computational power. So let's go on to social interactions. Individual interaction pattern is an important assessment element of social learning. When people interact with each other, a social network is forming. The social network is a social structure made up of individuals or organizations called nodes, which are tied or connected by one or more specific types of interdependency, such as interaction, friendship, and kinship. As shown in Figure 7.2, the social network basics, there are actors, the nodes in the network, examples, members in a group, students and instructors in a class. There's also ties, lines between actors in the network. Directed, example, giving or receiving, teaching and learning, or undirected, like sharing or being friend. There's also networks, configuration of sets of actors under ties, reveal key actors, positions, rules, and connectivity, centralization, cliques, and isolates. Assessment of social network should use a method named social network analysis. According to the constitution of social network analysis usually focuses on several key terms such as sociogram, density, centrality, in degree, and out degree. By Cho et al. 2007, J. Wu and Won-sun 2014, and Martinez et al. 2003. So let's define sociogram. Sociogram is the visualization to show the situation of the whole or the part of the social network. It's shown in the figure 7.3, a sample sociogram. That's the illustration of sociogram. In the sociogram, the node represents the actor, the line represents the relationship between actors, and the arrow direction represents the information flow. Let's go on to density. Density describes the connection degree of a network. It refers to the number of ties an actor has, divided by the total possible ties an actor could have. For example, if there are 10 actors, each actor could potentially have 9 ties. That means the actor could potentially connect to the other 9 actors. If an actor has 6 ties, the density of the network is 66.67% or 6/9. The bigger the number of density stands, the better the connection of the network. Then let's proceed to the centrality. Centrality describes the number of ties an actor has. The more ties an actor has, the higher centrality it is. When the network has direction, there are two indicators to explain centrality: in degree and out degree. For example, if actor A comments on actor B, then the direction between them is A point to B. So out degree can be used to describe actor A because it is the one commented. And an in degree can be used to describe actor B because it is the one who received comments. If an actor has higher in degree, it means the actor received more information. If an actor has higher out degree, it means the actor provides more information. By Russo and Kosten, 2005. So let's proceed to case 1. Social interaction analysis of an online English to Chinese cooperative translation activity. So Yang, Go and Yu, 2016 analyzed the social network of online English to Chinese translation activity. The participants are 48 sophomores majoring in educational technology at Jiangsu Normal University. They were randomly assigned to 12 groups of 4 students. The network formed by the groups' interaction was directed. In Figure 7.4, illustrate the social network of sociogram. From a sociogram, we can see each group has a connection, which means groups could communicate with other groups without obstacles. The density of this sociogram is 0.65, which means it is a high-density network. Groups in the network are in touch with most of the other groups, and the information can flow freely among different groups. As shown in Table 7.1, it indicates that Group 4 is more active in sharing information and has a strong influence on the network. And then Group 2 received the most information but has a minimum of sharing. That is to say, Group 2 is in control and other groups and has little influences on others. Let's proceed on content analysis. When individuals interact with each other, especially discussing and chatting, the understanding of the content could become deeper within the interaction. The social interaction is usually related to knowledge building. So knowledge building can be considered as a form of deep constructivism by Scardamalia 2002 and Beriter 2006. Defined knowledge building as a production and continual improvement of ideas of value to a community that involves individuals and groups coming to a deeper understanding through interactive querying, discussing, and continuing improvement of ideas. It is worth noting that this notion of deep learning by educational psychologists and technologists is different from what computer scientists and artificial intelligence researchers call deep learning in the context of machine learning. Content interaction is usually measured by content analysis, which is a method to analyze the procedures with text. By Rourke, Anderson, Garrison, and Archer, 2001. The text usually includes chats, discussion boards, and log file data. The content analysis includes 3 steps. First is the adapting a coding scheme. Second, coding the text. The third one is analyzing the results. Now, let's go to the case 2. Content analysis of a collaborative inquiry learning among 4 elementary schools in China. So, Zhang 2017 analyzed the final products of a collaborative inquiry activity. The participants are 196 pupils from 4 classes in 4 elementary schools in China. The pupils were randomly assigned to the groups of 4 or 5. At first, Zhang 2017 selected the coding scheme proposed by Zhang et al. 2011 to analyze the level of knowledge building. The scheme includes scientificness and complexity as shown in Table 7.2. So this is the Table 7.2. In order to make sure the coding is credible, 2 raters coded all the discussion text independently. The raters compared the coding and Zhang calculated the inter-rater agreement that achieved 0.91. Finally, Zhang 2017 calculated the percent of each knowledge level. The result is shown in Table 7.3. So this is the result. Regarding scientificness, the result indicated that 0.4% of the discussion transcript were pre-scientific. 1% of them were hybrid, 10.6% of them were basically scientific, and 64% of them were scientific. Zhang 2017 concluded that most learners had acquired scientific knowledge about tools in daily life. In complexity aspect, the result demonstrated that 16% of this course transcripts were elaborated facts. 67.3% of them were elaborated facts. Only 0.9% of them were unelaborated explanations, and 15% of them were elaborated explanations. Zhang 2017 concluded the finding indicated that most learners could elaborate terms, phenomena, and facts. However, only a few of them can provide elaborated explanations about tools in daily life. So Zhang suggested that the teachers should provide more elaborated explanations to deepen the understanding of tools in daily life. And now, let's proceed to the cognitive task analysis. In addition to analyzing the content to be learned, it is often useful to analyze performing tasks and solve problems related to that content. Cognitive task analysis is a well-established technique for doing such an analysis by Clark and Estes 1996. CTA, which stands for Cognitive Task Analysis, makes use of observations, interviews, and talk-aloud techniques to extract both explicit and implicit experiences in solving problems and making decisions pertaining to the content to be learned. Common methods used in CTA includes collecting preliminary knowledge. Example, via document reviews. Identifying relevant knowledge representation, examples, in the form of concept maps or causal influence diagrams. Then applying knowledge elicitation techniques, example, interviews and think aloud methods, and developing the results in a manner suitable for testing with less experienced persons. One key aspect of a cognitive task analysis is to identify key distinctions and decision points that influence what a problem solver or decision maker does. And now, let's proceed to the group performance. The traditional assessment methods such as final test, submitting artifacts, or products are adapted to analyze the group performance. Through these assessments, we can infer what they know, can do, or have accomplished in general by Miss Levy et al. 2003. So, a final test is a traditional method to evaluate the knowledge of learners. In the practice situation, making artifacts or products has been the standard assessment methods. The steps of product evaluating methods are similar to the content analysis. Both of them need to adopt the evaluation scheme. After that, products should be assessed according to the scheme. Then, let's proceed to case number 3. Products evaluation of a collaborative inquiry learning among 4 elementary schools in China. So Zheng 2017 analyzed the final products of a collaborative inquiry activity. The participants are 196 pupils from 4 classes in the 4 primary schools in China. The pupils in each class were randomly assigned to the groups of 4 or 5. Finally, 48 groups were formed. At first, Zheng 2017 chose the coding scheme proposed by Lai and Wang 2015 to analyze the submitted products of learning groups. The scheme includes word, space, color, and theme. Each dimension is separated into 3 levels, shown at Table 7.4. So in Table 7.4, you will see the criteria for group products. Zheng 2017 evaluated the final product of groups according to the scheme and analyzed the means and standard deviations of group products. The result indicated that all of groups made great efforts to collaboratively draw the artifacts. So in figure 7.5, it is an example of the final product of groups. And now, let's proceed to the key points in this chapter. First, social learning can be considered as a change in understanding that goes beyond the individual to become situated within wider social units or communities of practice through social interactions between actors within social networks. Next, benefits of social learning can be summarized into 3 major categories: social, psychological, and academic. Third, features of technology in social learning can be described to promote student collaboration and knowledge creation, enhance student cognitive performance, or foster deep understanding, add flexibility of time and space for social learning, and promote student engagement and keep track of student collaboration. And then the fourth, the group development process can be described based on the 5-stage model: the forming, norming, storming, performing, and adjourning. Fifth, building learning community usually includes 5 steps: introduction, identification within the group, interaction, group cohesion and individual reflection, and expansive questioning. And the last one, group performance can be measured and analyzed in 3 aspects, namely social interaction, content interaction, and group product. So that's all. Thank you and God bless you. Bye!